And thanks for clicking on this video, guys. Welcome to this new comparison that we will be covering today about two major games that will surely make the history in the video games history. What are we talking about today? We are talking about The Witcher 3, as you can see from those pictures here that clearly come from the final version of the game, already available for PC, PS4 and Xbox One, and a game that is coming out exactly 1 year after The Witcher 3. We are talking about the amazing, unbelievable and super hyped Final Fantasy 15. They both are open world games, they both are action RPG styled, and they both are supposed to be super completed, because unfortunately we couldn't find out yet how Final Fantasy 15 will be, but surely both of them are super great games. The Witcher 3 already won the Games of the Year edition, and I'm pretty sure Final Fantasy 15 is going to win this year Games of the Year edition. But let's talk straight away about the main differences. Let's start to talk a little bit straight away about graphics. Graphics, The Witcher 3 looks surely amazing. Look at that, guys, it's truly unbelievable. The landscape and everything else looks amazing. But as we could see, also Final Fantasy 15 looked amazing, and it's been released 1 year after. The graphics should be a little bit better. The graphics are definitely a little bit better in Final Fantasy 15. Look for example at the vegetation. Look at everything. There is a lot of things to do, and the field of view is a little bit improved since The Witcher 3. Well, and this was the main difference. So both the games are astonishing about graphics, but of course Final Fantasy 15, in my opinion, looks a little bit better in graphics. Okay, let's talk about optimization then. Both the games are really well optimized. They have been taken care by a super great team in both of the cases. Square Enix is behind Final Fantasy 15, and behind The Witcher 3 there is the amazing CD Projekt Red. And here we go. As you can see, both the games, we're saying they look great, they have an amazing field of view, but the optimization is surely better in The Witcher 3. You won't believe it, but yeah, unfortunately Final Fantasy 15 has been found like a little bit infested by loads of bugs, especially in the beginning, because it is a super open world game. It gives you a lot of chances, and well, unfortunately the optimization will be something the developers will need to work on. But don't worry, it's nothing like Mafia 3 that makes the games unplayable or anything like Assassin's Creed Unity. That's not a problem. This gives the point to The Witcher 3. Another thing that I would like to say about The Witcher 3 that gives you a little point to it is the hair of the characters. In The Witcher 3 looks great. I really hate that in some of the characters in Final Fantasy 15 the hair looks terrible. This is not the case, but sometimes they really look like grass. The hair sometimes, like in this case, you could see the pixels in the hair of the guy with the pink hair. And this is something that bothers me a lot. But this is just one little point. Let's then talk about the combat system. The combat system, Final Fantasy 15 is 1,000 times better. Look, you have the teleport, you have loads of powers, you have a lot of power-ups. In The Witcher 3 you had power-ups, but I found the skill system to be not that rewarding. After all, the abilities you had, they were always the same. The powers you have were 5 with another variety of the power itself. And the magic, basically, in Final Fantasy 15 is a lot more varied. You will have a lot more things to learn, a lot more attacks, and well, surely, in this case, Final Fantasy 15 for the combat system wins, because The Witcher 3 The only thing that it was a little bit missing was the combat system, that at the end it got really repetitive. The combat system in The Witcher 3, it is repetitive after a little bit. You can get the strategy, but you can't say that the combat system varies from fight to fight. And this was basically why we give for the combat system the point to Final Fantasy 15. Well, then let's talk about the length of both the games. You're not opening, of course, you're buying an open world game. So, and therefore is also an RPG, and from it you are expecting loads and loads and loads of hours, right? Well, in this case, The Witcher 3 definitely wins the point for it. The Witcher 3 is supposed to be long, more than 50 hours just for the main campaign. Final Fantasy 15 is supposed to be a little bit shorter. It will offer always a lot of options, but still, it won't be as long as The Witcher 3. And this is basically variety of the game. Variety of the game, in this case, well, The Witcher 3 was offering Gwent, which is just enough to justify a lot of variety. But in here you will have a lot more things. You will have the races with the Chocobo, which is comparable to the races you had with the horse in The Witcher 3. But not only this, in here you can fish. In here you can go around, hunt for some specific titans or for some specific evocations, summonings that you can have in your magic skill tree. And the things you have to do in Final Fantasy 15 are really a lot. You have the pinball, you have a lot of stuff. They added really a huge variety to the game itself. And this, for the variety, gives a point directly to Final Fantasy 15. You don't even have any idea of how much content they are putting in Final Fantasy 15. Nonetheless, the storyline, the secondary missions should still be a little bit shorter than The Witcher 3, but the variety is 1,000 times better. You can fish, you can play pinball, you can go driving around, you can do a lot of stuff. Seriously, a lot. Let's talk then about the universe of the game. The universe of the game has been, in both the game, really well worked out. In The Witcher 3, you have 3 games that you need to buy, basically. While in Final Fantasy 15, this is a brand new series that comes with an anime you can see on YouTube for free, and Kingslave, the movie that you can see if you want to pay for it, of course. Otherwise, on IGN you can find the first 12 minutes that should still give you more than one reason for actually buying Kingslave. Kingslave is an absolute masterpiece. But the universe is a lot bigger in The Witcher 3. The universe of this game, therefore, is a lot more developed. There is a lot more story behind the plot of The Witcher 3. There are books. Well, there is really a lot. There is another complete world invented and studied for you. Nonetheless, how the plot is basically told, how you will know about the things that will happen, is 1,000 times better on Final Fantasy 15. In Final Fantasy 15, then the way they say the story is a lot better. You will have proper cutscenes, not like the in-graphics, in-game engine rendered cutscenes that you have, for example, in The Witcher 3, that are really good, but that they never really convinced me. They really never convinced me. They were too robotic and not as good as the ones that you have in Final Fantasy 15. This, therefore, makes you also more enjoyable to actually see and to actually know the story of Final Fantasy 15. Well, apart from this, for now, it is an absolute draw. It is an absolute draw. Those two games are really, they should be equal. They should be equal because they put so much work in both of the games. But the fact that there are more modern mechanics, better graphics, and the games just feel a little bit new because it came out after The Witcher 3, it goes undeniably to give the last point to Final Fantasy 15 for a more accessibility to the story, because we before gave a point for the length of The Witcher 3, in case you are one of those guys that enjoy to play a lot of game. But don't forget that there are guys that they just want to play the main story, arriving at the end of it without losing too much of the plot. And in The Witcher 3, unfortunately, the main campaign is filled up with a lot of secondary missions that really force you to go through a lot of missions that most of you wouldn't even like to go through. This, of course, adds a lot of plot, of pathos to the game itself, but still, some of the people, you need to think that from the statistics, just the 20% of the people that bought The Witcher actually finish just the main campaign, not even 100% of the game, but just 20% of them, they actually finish the game. Because actually in 50 hours you get you get to a point that you are just bored. For example, I'm stuck at half of it. I'm stuck at half of it because it looks like every time you do a mission, you can't pass through some development of the history itself. And this is something that Final Fantasy 15 will do a lot better. So if you just want to play a video game, enjoy the story, see the development of it, well, in this case, Final Fantasy will keep you over there. Plus, power-ups in Final Fantasy 15 will give you a real like sense of progression for the characters. Then there are more playable characters in Final Fantasy 15. You have the whole team of those of the Brotherhood, where there will be Noctis, he's the King Shield, there will be Prompto, and there will be the Strategist. And you will be able to play all of them. You will be able to play chained attacks as well with them. And well, in this case, also the variety of the environment varies a lot. In The Witcher 3, we have to say that the environment looks like the one back from the past, while in Final Fantasy 15 you have a real good mix. Things that you have never said, things you would have never imagined, and still everything looks simply astonishing. Well, this is why, as well with the modern, as well as with more modern technology, a better graphics, more attacks, more actually things, a better gameplay, a combat system redefined. There will be titans, there will be summonings, and basically in general the gameplay will be 1,000 times better, and the story more enjoyable, gives Final Fantasy 15 the right to be the best game between the two, even though The Witcher 3 is an absolute masterpiece. So we are really looking forward to the release of this game, and yeah, this will be the next game of the year, I'm sure. But anyway, let me know what do you think about this, in case you agree or in case you don't. Just let me know why in the comments below. And if you have any other suggestion about which game we should compare between each other, just make sure to suggest it below. Leave a like if you agree. And subscribe if you want to see more comparison like this. Well, for the meantime, this is everything. And of course, I'll see you in the next video comparison then. Cheers!